what I'm gonna show you today is traps that may get you falling back on the same places where you've began. So to fail the trap into the curses that we have striving to break. Hello, beautiful people. This is your guru, your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today I want to talk with you all about what happens every time you begin to break curses and spell work that has been operating over your life. Essentially what happens is that your progress, your healing, and your evolution starts to trigger a whole new layer of the curse. So let me explain a little bit more. As you heal, you essentially elevate in a place that close off the access of negative entities can have to you. And you become more invulnerable to the negative effective spell work, because the curses behind those entities and even the sorcerers behind these curses don't want you to be able to break these curses. So essentially what happens is your healing and your evolutionary journey triggers a whole new layer of the curse. So let me explain a little bit more. Your healing triggers negative entities and sorcerers who work with these entities to find new ways of accessing you and your energy. So as you begin to heal and elevate beyond the low vibrational entities and spell work, you will begin to notice two things. Number one, you'll begin to notice old habits, mindsets, and temptations begin to re-emerge in your life. You may begin to feel tempted or lured toward old ways of being so that you had already outgrown. This is because low vibrational entities and low vibrational magic can only affect us when we are in our self lower vibrational match. So in order to regain access to you, all temptation that place you into lower vibration will arise and will return to your life. So let's say you maybe have a drink or smoking or clubbing. You had this habit stopped, and all the memories were used to be, and feeling nostalgic about the ways that used to people you hang around the places. The atmosphere, when it feel to fart boring with the spiritual work, and it's not exciting as you used to live, even not as free as the life you used to have before. But when you begin to start feeling this way, if you start feeling this way, clock it for the lie it is. Because many of us end up to intense a level of spiritual warfare precisely because of the life we used to live. So essentially we ended up in this spiritual warfare because we were not at the top of the spiritual development. We was at that type of life. We're not giving the evolution seriously. And when you feel tempted by the old life, it's remember that we already been in that road, and we know where it leads, and we know what's low vibrational living. It keeps us away from our true destinies, through arisement, through spiritual power and authority. So what you don't know, on the other hand, when you're still discovering, is just how magnificent our spiritual journey can get as we heal and evolve. So please stay dedicated to the spiritual walk and the spiritual path, even if it feels hard, even when your old life feels more exciting or tempting than your evolutionary journey that you are on. The second thing that will happen when you begin to break curses that have been operating in your life is you start I don't know how to describe it. If you are not vulnerable enough to tempt back to old ways, those sorcerers will become to send people, usually romantic people, like to have relation, but they are not spiritually evolved as you are. It happened with me. So this person is sent to your life to gain a new access to you since you lost the last one. You know, if you had to know with whom you lay and with whom you spend time, and someone has not tamed their own demon, then guess what's gonna happen? Those demons will now become in yours, and the demon that sent away as you elevated and you heal will simply attach to that person in order to reattach to you. And the real spirituality is that the most low vibrational people who's being sent into your life already has negative and demonic entities attached to them. And this is how the entities and sorcerers are able to work through this person to give access to you. I said it once and I said it again. Number one way that I see destiny swaps happen is by people having intimate relationship with marrying or having children or with people who are not spiritually aligned. You know, like or in a lower vibration state. Who's gonna come and try to swap, take your destiny? Who's gonna come? Somebody spiritually less than you, somebody low vibration, you know, that is not even on your level. You know, because why would they attempt on swapping if they have a higher, if they are high vibration and if they are spiritually much more evolved than you? What the heck they need from your destiny? You know, that's how you know, from the spiritual perspective, not out of loneliness or lust, but you must seriously ask ourselves, is this person spiritually aware enough? Are they taking their own healing and shadow work journey seriously enough? And until they even know, do they even know what's the meaning of shadow work? Do they even know what's spirituality? Do they really know who they are and what they are doing here and from where they came? Be careful from letting old energies back in your life, chosen ones. Nobody can feel. First of all, chosen people nobody can, how you say, fool, you know, the journey. You know, chosen peoples have a light around them. And when they tell you who they are, when they give you their barcode, nobody can fool it. Nobody can create it, you know? So watch out from old energy. I'm not saying old energy, not old people, just you want a way back, trying to come back. These are also new people who could still carrying the old negative energies and the energetic pattern and habits and behaviors that you have outgrown. So when new people come into your life with old energy, it's important that do not entertain those people either. I have a rule. If someone new that comes into my life reminds me of someone that I have already disconnected from, I don't connect with that person, because that familiar energy that you are sensing is the energy of familiar spirit. You know, I talk a lot about familiar spirits. It's one of the most horrific enemy in your life. You know, they will try anything to get back into your life through people, habits, temptation. Because when an entity begins to lose levels of access to you, it will simply go through other people to get closer to you. Curses and hexes run deep. They affect us on a soul level, especially when we are dealing with situation of destiny swaps and energy harvesting and generational and past life curses. For the process of dealing with these entities, I'm specialized in that because I graduated in the best, out of the best low vibrational atmosphere that you can ever imagine, has been as in the soul level. Well, there's some soul level healing that must occur in our spiritual journey in order to clear the entity from our aura, in order from our soul blueprint, from our ancestor lineage and blueprint. And this could be healing insecurities, childhood traumas, trust issues, anger issues, self-esteem issues, shame, guilt, etc., 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 etc. And if you did not attend your inner child healing meditation. You should. It is very important. Yes, and when we talk about the ancestors, like when you when you do these stuff, you free your ancestor, you raise them. You know, because listen, not all your ancestors are good. Some ancestors have demonic contract. Some of you, most of your problems is because of your past ancestors. The demonic familiar spirit covenant, as they call them. You know, that this issue goes 400 years back. It's not about the past generation. I'm talking 400 years back. You know, so when you free yourself and you raise your ancestor to the light, you know, some of your ancestors are so dark. You know, some of these people of your ancestors are very dark. You know, but you gave them that chance to raise the lineage. Those will fight for you. Those will be your guide. Those will pass the torch. You know, because and in the ancestral layer, it's a dimension. In that ancestral layer, like things get different. Like when the person, maybe your worst enemy here on earth, when he pass away on the other side, etherically, he will be your guide. Yes, especially when you are taking spiritual war. Because when the consciousness leave the body, and see the bigger picture that the 3D carnal man can never see except of material, where there's no material up there, you know, and what you're fighting for, everything changes. Yeah, trust me. So I wished I helped somebody in sharing such an information.